Just now take it to our next management, which is with us. And this is Samvardhana Motherson, which reported a healthy set of numbers. Revenue growth came in good. Lower tax expense was added to their profits. Let's discuss this more with Pankaj Mital, Chief Operating Officer, and Kunal Malani, Chief Financial Officer at Samvardhana Motherson as well. Pankaj, thank you very much for joining us. Kunal, thank you very much for being here as well. Prashant, this side. Pankaj, I want to straight away sort of dive into the another main automotive business, but the consumer electronics business, Pankaj. And it's an area where you guys are very bullish about. It's a large opportunity. It's the right space. You guys work with Apple as well in terms of supplying components. How after the recent, I don't know how much you can sort of tell us, but I'll have to ask. We heard President Trump essentially asking Apple to come back to the US, to make in the US. Have you heard anything from them? I mean, I think they're, of course, making out of Chennai, down south, now I think Bangalore, and there were reports they were scouting for another sort of facility in the north of the country. What have you heard from them, if anything at all?
Good morning, Prashant. Thank you for having us with you today. As far as we are concerned, whatever we are doing in the consumer electronics business is on track. So as we have mentioned in our presentation also, we are accelerating production and capacity. One of the plant is already operationalized with a sharp ramp-up capacity to supply to about 15 to 17 million units. Two more plants are in place coming up, one in this year, in the next few months, and another one in 27, which will be even a larger plant. As we intend to do what we are doing today, we intend to also do vertical integration and add more value. So our plans, they are for the consumer electronics business, are on track.
Mr. Mital, just to understand, can you give us a sense at a blended revenue level, how much of your revenue, say by FY27, maybe that's a better year to look at, or maybe FY28, how much of it will come from the consumer business? Just want to understand how the revenue mix will change 3 years on.
This is still something which is in the offing because there are lots more to come in this sphere. So as we move forward in this area, we will come back to you with a number. As far as current business is concerned, we had indicated an investment of about 2,600 crores into these three facilities, and more will come. We are not at liberty to disclose at the moment the revenue figure.
You know, you said that there is enhanced engagement, new product evaluations are underway, etc., etc. With regards to, of course, the customer that I mentioned. Is there any? It's all on track, sir. Have you heard anything at all, or will, in your assessment, even if you've not heard, do you think exhortations by the president in the US will slow down plans to make more here?
Well, as we had mentioned in the very beginning, that this is a business which we are doing with a partner, with Beal. As you would know, that they do multiple products.
Yes.
And the kind of business which they do, so it's not. There are multiple customers. And as we have been maintaining that there are, we have non-disclosure agreements with various customers with whom we deal with. So we are not at liberty to disclose something more than what we have disclosed so far. I think this information which we have provided in terms of our greenfield sites, in terms of vertical integration, and that our business is on track should be good enough.
Okay, all right. Hi, gentlemen. Good morning. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, the street is optimistic, and you all as well have mentioned numerous times that the content per vehicle is likely to improve because of premiumization, electrification as well. Could you give us a broad number? What is it at currently, and where is this number headed to, say, in the next 3 years?
In terms of our content, you could see that from the product profile which we have provided. So you see that we were primarily one product maker, and today there are so many different products which are coming in, and they come in at the behest of our customers, both by doing ourselves or through acquisitions or ventures, which we have been partnering with technology providers around the world. We added new partners. 23 new acquisitions were done in the last period, as we have mentioned in the last 5 years. So you see that there is a huge amount of new products like sunroofs. We have fuel tanks. We have multiple products, integrated assemblies. So that's how we keep adding the content, and that's the way in which we will continue to do in the future as well.
Yeah, but do you have a reference number, sir? We get that. I've said this a couple of times in the past as well. You're getting into better products, etc., higher amount of premiumization. Do we have a reference number to work with on a content per vehicle as of now?
See, we are not. What you have to look at is that we don't supply to every model all the products which we do. So it's a huge spread. It's about being a solution provider to our customer. So that's the quest. So it's a direction in which you could do more and more. And the company has also diversified, not just into the automotive side, but also into different industries. So you see, we today support the aerospace industry. We do the rolling stock industry. We are into the consumer electronics. So that's the way for us. And when we do integrated assemblies, there is a huge amount of potential in the market to do multiple things. And new products like we are doing now for companies which make machines for equipments for silicon wafers, we're doing products for them. So it's a journey in which we keep finding more and more avenues to support our customers.
Sure. All right. Got that. Let me come to Kunal as well for some questions. Kunal, on the here and now, the P&L for the fourth quarter, your overall revenue grew about 6%, but blended margin was under a little bit of pressure. And I think the bulk of that pressure came in from your modules and polymer products business, where margins have come down from double digits, almost 11% to about, I think, 6.5%. While the margins for the wiring harness business are improving. So can you just walk us through whether this was a one-off pressure in your modules and polymer business? What's the outlook for both wiring and harness and modules and polymer for FY26, especially focusing on the margin?
You're right. Our module polymer business did have a margin decline. And this was largely on account of the volumes dip that we saw in Q4 for the European side of the business. There was a 9% volume dip that we saw on the European side, which wasn't really expected. In April, you would have seen we've also announced a transformation plan in Europe in order to take out around about 50 million of costs in the next year or two. So we saw the market decline and started recalibrating it as we moved down the path. Now, as you know, and we've always spoken about, it is always better to look at us from a year-on-year basis.
Sure. So yeah, just year-on-year margin outlook and revenue outlook as well, if you can, Kunal. You grew 15% last year. I think 8% was organic growth, rest was acquisitions. So just very quickly, FY26 revenue growth outlook and margin outlook.
I think one, on the revenue side, we should do better than where we are in FY25. So I think we should do better than where we are, even though the market backdrop seems to be a little soft on production and tariff uncertainties. When we look on the margin, we've always said don't look at the percentage margin because there's a lot of moving elements on account of commodities, etc. So on an absolute basis, we still hope to deliver a better result than FY25.
Absolutely. Just one last question here, Pankaj. I think you've said that you are open to customer-supported M&A. There is also this news flow around Marelli. So you reportedly made a buyout offer for them. This is new information. Anything you can tell us, Pankaj?
We have already given information to the stock exchanges that there are various discussions which we do with multiple companies around the world. So as soon as something on any particular acquisition gets fructifies, it will be informed to the market immediately.
That's the standard answer. I think you would give us nothing less, but would give us something. I mean, so you are obviously talking in that sense, right? And should we hear something soon?
We talk to multiple companies. So, M&As are something where unless and until something gets fructified, very difficult to say something.
Yeah, and you've done a string of acquisitions over the years, lots of them around the world. Pankaj and Kunal, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here on CNBC-TV18. Good luck, and I hope to speak with you again soon, especially around news flow coming through with regards to the consumer electronics business. Apple, as I began the conversation by saying, being very closely watched for any signal if they or other global large companies slow down their plans to build more here.